All the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, I'm going to go in with the Spirit on John, the 4th chapter, and I didn't plan nothing, I'm just going to start reading. And here it is, starting at the top. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Yahushua made and baptized more disciples than John, though Yahushua himself baptized not, but his disciples, he left Judea and departed again into Galilee. And he must needs go through Samaria. Let's see. Okay. And it says, verse 5. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. It says, now Jacob's well was there. Yahushua therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua saith unto her, give me to drink. Salakia. Alright, sorry, I was getting a text on my other phone. Alright, so let me concentrate. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua saith unto her, give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria, and then that's how that's how we be doing it when we get together. You know, brothers that go, get some carne, get some meat. You know, when we meet up, we link up with the brothers. You know, so this just reading this this reminds me of when we were with the brothers now, right? Verse 9. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, ask drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. And because she knew that the men who hold the truth, and she was talking about the Jews just in general, but the men, that hold this knowledge, hold this truth, we're not going to associate with just anybody. Right? Just like this woman knew that about Yahushua and the disciples. Yahushua answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of the Most High, and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. So she didn't realize who Yahushua was, right? Verse 11, the woman saith unto him, sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? So she couldn't understand. He was talking spiritually, and she was thinking carnally, right? She's like, how are you going to get this water? But he was on a different level. He was talking about this in the spirit. And then it says, art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? And Yahushua answered and saith unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life. Right, because this water, like we always tell you, it's the living water, right? Rivers of living water. Let me see if I can get a quick precept. Let's see. Actually, it came to my head before I looked it up. 7:38. John 7:38. It says, "He that believeth on me, as the scriptures hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." All right, so the ones who believe in Yahushua, as the scriptures saith, meaning, we believe in the way the Bible describes him. We believe in the way his personality, his characteristics. Because we read the scripture, he wasn't no pushover. He wasn't no, just walking around loving everybody and teaching everybody. No, we know how the scriptures had said. He was teaching his disciples. He was teaching men of the elect. This is why she started out saying, "Why do you even want water from me when you have no dealings with people like me?" Because, see, these days people are very low level when it comes to the scriptures. In this time, when Yahushua was walking there, they were low level, but not as low level as the today. Because she actually knew, she was surprised when Yahushua asked her for some water, right? But she was still being carnal and wasn't thinking in the spirit. The spirit. He was actually talking about this knowledge and this truth. He wasn't talking about actual water, right? So that's why he said, "Who drinketh of this water shall never thirst again." Because remember, the one who believes in Yahushua, as the scriptures have said, that's who the out of our bellies is going to flow rivers of living water. And this is the living water, this truth, right? John 4:14. "But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life." Just like I read in John 7:38. Verse 15. "The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua saith unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither." See, because it's order. It's in order. Just like when we're out on the streets, when we're teaching, if a woman approaches us and wants to start talking to us, asking us questions, or even if she's with a man, we tell her right away, "Hey, we need to speak with your husband. We're not dealing with you. We need to speak with your husband." Because we're in order, not like the Christian church where he'll have a women's counseling, and then the male pastor will hold the counseling class. You know what I'm saying? They'll be going to the male pastor for counsel. Next thing you know, he's popping your wife. You see? There's order in this thing, man. You don't deal with other men's. You don't deal with another man's wife. Matter of fact, let's get that in the Apocrypha. You never want to be dealing with another man's wife in any capacity, all right? She invites you for anything, a drink, whatever. You might think it's innocent. You got to stay away from that because you can be enticed, all right? Let's get that real quick. I know it's in the Apocrypha. Yeah. Let's get that. It's in Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, aka Sirach. "Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine." I mean, you don't want to be drinking with another man's wife, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. You see? So you might be thinking it's an innocent meeting or whatever. You start drinking a little wine with another man's wife, man, next thing you know, those demons are going to jump on you. And if you're not built up in your spirit, there ain't no way you're going to be able to resist. I could say, the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, we've built up our spirit enough to where, and I'm speaking, for myself, and I know there's other brothers out there that are in this knowledge and this truth. First of all, you don't put yourself in them shoes, right? But second of all, you avoid situations like that. You always avoid another man's wife, brothers, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Even at work, I'm perplexed because I have to work with another man's wife. She sits by me, and she'll make conversation here and there, and really, I just try to keep it to a minimum, and if I can avoid talking to her at all, that's what I do. Because niggas in this society, they ain't like that. They're not like that. That's why these women, and they're the weaker vessel. Really, a woman's not supposed to be in the workplace. But that's another lesson for another day. But, basically, that's just a recipe for a disaster. A recipe, in this truth, especially being in this knowledge, a recipe for destruction and death. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will put your ass to death if you're out there fucking around with another man's wife. All right, brothers, let's just nip that in the bud immediately. If you know a woman has a husband, man, you better be like Usain Bolt and then bolt out of there. Get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of that situation. Straight up. John 4 and 15. So that's why Yahushua, being in the right spirit, this is how it is, man. John 15, 4 and 15. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua saith unto her, Go call thy husband and come hither. And the woman answered and said, because we don't teach, we don't teach another woman. If you're a woman and you want to learn this truth and you have a husband, guess what? Your husband, we need to teach your husband, and then your husband can teach you. You see? Let's get that real quick. Let's get her that. Let's get that. It's in 1 Corinthians. You rebellious fucking Christians. Oh, you go out there and you think that you can learn from any man if you're a married woman. Man, you fucking whores. Next thing you know, that dude's got you bent over his fucking coffee table. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep things in order, man. The flesh is fucking strong, especially if you're not built up in the spirit, especially if you don't know this, you don't know this truth, if you don't understand these laws, all right? 1 Corinthians 14 and 35. Okay, let's go back. Wow, the good one right here. 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. All right, and before you women get all worked up about this verse, worked up about what I'm preaching right now, listen. It's a beautiful thing when a woman knows how to just keep her mouth shut, when she knows how to be a woman, when she knows how to, and actually, she actually adorns herself in the eyes of Yahweh, meaning she makes herself more beautiful when she's in obedience, when she's submissive. And don't take obedience and submissiveness as an insult. And if you do, guess what? This truth ain't for you, and you're just probably not of the elect. That's why you can't be submissive, you can't be obedient to your husband or to your man, right? That's just plain and simple. If you don't agree with the scripture, especially this verse where I'm reading 34, 1 Corinthians 14 and 34, you're not of the elect. You're going to die of a famine. You're going to die of the Lord's going to bring judgment to you before the kingdom, plain and simple. But you women who are obedient and submissive, that's a beautiful thing, man. And here's another thing, because I like to give this example. It doesn't make a woman weak or a woman less of a woman because she submits and obeys her husband. Because you got to understand this, like when they break horses, when a breeder or whatever you want to call him, a horse person who raises and deals with horses, and they break that horse, that horse becomes submissive and obedient. But at the same time, that horse is still that same horse, which is a powerful, strong, and glorious animal. See? Look at it in that fashion. Just because you're obedient, just because you're submissive and meek to your husband, that doesn't make you, less. Because that's actually a beautiful discipline. Like I say, I compare it to that horse that's been broken by its master, and that horse is not, just because it got broke by its master doesn't take away the fact that the horse is a powerful animal and a glorious animal. You see? So here's the point, verse 35, talking about the women and the husbands and the wives. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for women to speak in the church. And remember, the church are the men at the end of the day. So it's a shame for you women to be walking up to the camps if you have a husband. If you have a husband, you women need just to stay the fuck away from the camp. Don't walk up on us. Don't put that evil on us. Like what's his name in that movie Talladega Nights. Don't put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby. You women, don't put that evil on us. Stay away. If you have a husband, go deal with your husband. Send your husband to the camp if he wants to learn. You want to learn. And what he learns, he can teach you at home. See? John 4 and 16. I'll read it again. And Yahushua saith unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and whom thou now hast is not thy husband, in that saidst thou truly. So Yahushua must have knew a little something about her, because he said, hey, you had 5 husbands. I mean, she had 5 men, But now, these women, they just jump from rod to rod to rod, and then they talk about, I'm not married, I'm single. I'm single like a Pringle. I'm single like the last Pringle. No, you're married, and technically, when we get real technical, you're married to whoever that man was that took your virginity, according to the scriptures. That's why this truth is not really for the women, because the truths that I'm speaking right now, how many women are going to receive this without getting pissed off, offended, and say, to hell with you. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's all right, because we know what it is. All right. Verse 19. The woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahushua saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Because he was talking about in the prophecy where they're going to come to this mountain and they're going to worship Yahweh. That's happening right now. There are people in Jerusalem that they're not worshiping Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. They're too busy, first of all, they're not the people of Yahweh. Those J-double-O's, those are not the people of Yahweh. Those white Edomite J-double-O's they're an imposter. They're a bastard. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. So that prophecy's already come to pass. And then he tells her on 22, Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. I read that wrong. I read it right that time. But see, these people don't know what they worship. And just like now, you Christians, you pagan Christians, you don't know what you're worshiping. You might, if you're an Israelite, you might have good intentions. You might thinking you're doing the right thing. Oh, I'm gonna go to church, dog. It makes me feel good. Church makes me feel better. But yeah, you're over there paying homage to the damn devil. If you have kids, you're sacrificing your children unto devils, taking them in them churches. you know. But when you graduate, if you are of the elect, you start to realize what it really is. Guess what? You're gonna know better. You're not gonna take your kids to them churches, man. All right. Verse 24. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in the spirit and in truth. Wait, did I skip one? 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. And that's the other thing that's prophesied, that prophecy that came to pass. We're worshiping Yahweh in the spirit and in truth. Right? Not like these Christians, these pagan Christians. They're just basically a cult, which that cult word means just, all it means is worship, to worship something. So they call us a cult, but they're actually that wicked cult. Well, we are a cult, yeah, because that word cult just means to worship. But they're a wicked cult because they're worshiping doctrine of men, worshiping the doctrines of devils. In 24, the Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in the spirit and in truth, right? Just like we tell people, look, you got to believe Yahweh. You have to believe in the Most High in truth, not by the lies that the so-called white man has given you. All right? 25. The woman saith unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Hamashiach. When he is come, he will tell us all things. Yahweh Shai saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. So, imagine that. You're in the presence of Yahweh Shai, and you're sitting here talking about the Messiah is going to come. That shows you that everybody wasn't given the light. Everybody wasn't given the eyes to see. Because this lady, if she was, if she knew better, she would have knew who she was in the presence of. Just like us, we're out there on the street corners teaching, and there's people that, seldom, but it happens, where people are like, yes, I believe you are the prophets, man, or hey, keep up the good work. We know who you are. Things like that, right? But this woman, she didn't even know who she was in the presence of, you see? Verse 27. And upon this came his disciples and marveled that he talked with the woman. See, and that's how we are. What the fuck are you doing talking to her? That's how we are when we see our people talking to, women, men, even, who are really, maybe, and were perceived as they're probably not of the elect. What you dealing with them for? And it says, and upon this came his disciples and marveled that he talked with the woman, yet no man said, what seekest thou, or why talkest thou with her? The woman then left her water pot and went her way into the city, and said to the men, come, see a man which told me all things that ever I did. Is not this the Hamashiach? Then they went out of the city, and she was talking about, because he knew I was a whore. He knew I had 5 husbands, right? She's like, come and tell him about Yahweh Shai. Verse 30, and they went out of the city and came unto him. In the meanwhile, his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. But he said unto them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. All right? It's talking about the food, the bread. And really, meat goes into anything you can digest, devour. And what are we supposed to devour? What did Yahweh Shai, what did Yahweh tell? Let's see if I can get, actually it's Revelation 10. We were supposed to devour this truth, man. This truth is our meat. This truth is our daily bread, right? What do you do with bread? You eat it. It's a parable. Why do you call it daily bread? The truth, why do you call the scriptures the daily bread? Because you're supposed to eat it and digest it, right? Revelation 10 and 10, maybe. Yeah. Well, let's start at 9. Revelation 10 and 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. All right? And he's talking about that little book is the scripture. He's telling the angel, right? The angel told John, take that little book and eat it, And it says, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up. And it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. All right? So guess what? Once we eat up the scroll, once we eat this food up, to devour this truth, you got to go out and prophesy. If you're one of the prophets, if you're a true servant of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, you're going to go out with sound doctrine after you eat up that book, eat up the scroll, devour the word, right? You see what I'm saying? John 4, and let's get back to 30. John 4 and 30. Then they went out of the city and came unto him. In the meanwhile his disciples prayed of him, saying, Master, eat. But he said unto them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. And he was like, you know what I'm saying? Now he's still talking in the spirit. He's not talking about food. He hid some extra steaks on the side. No. He's talking about the truth. 33. Therefore said the disciples one to another, hath any man brought him aught to eat? So they're acting like her. They weren't thinking carnally. They weren't thinking spiritually. They're like, did somebody else feed Yahushua? You see? 34. Yahushua said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. So see, there it is. That's what our meat is, brothers. We devour this knowledge, devour this truth, and then guess what? We got the will of Yahweh is for us to go feed Yahushua's flock, right? And finish the work. That's why, like, you can't be like that one homeboy that's told, he made an announcement on his channel, oh, this is going to be my last video. I'm going to retire after this video, you know. You can't be in that spirit, man. You got to keep working until it's time to not work no more. And right now, it's still time to work, right? We're still out in captivity. We're still, the elect has not been sealed, you know. We're still able to go out there and minister and teach and make our bodies a living sacrifice daily, all right? So this is not finished. This work is not finished. Like Yahushua, you remember when he got getting ready to put on the cross, right after they put him to death. What did he say? Let's get that real quick. Let's go to John 19 and 30. This is when Yahushua was on the cross. This is when Yahushua therefore had received the vinegar, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the spirit. You see? Hey, Yahushua did it up until death, man. He was doing the work. So, you know, you brothers who, unless you're dead, man, you need to get your ass off the couch and you need to do the work. You see? John 4, and let's go back to, 33? 34. Yahushua saith unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. Right? So he did the work up until his last breath. All right? So you brothers, you dudes over here trying to retire and talking about, this is my last video I'm going to make. I'm retiring. You know, my days of prophesying are over. Well, hey, you were never part of the truth. You were never a true prophet. Verse 35. Say not ye that there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. Right? And he that reapeth receiveth wages, and gathereth fruit unto life eternal, that both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. And herein is the saying true, one soweth and another reapeth. All right. And I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor, other men labored, and ye entered into their labors. Right. And so yeah, that's what it is, man. Let me see. So when you sow, yeah, that means that's the gather, or I'm sorry, that's the scattering. And when you reap, that's the gathering, right? And how do we gather? By teaching. How do we gather the elect? By teaching, by having that 12 tribes chart out when we're teaching. We're showing our people who they are. That's the gathering, right? I'm sorry, did I say that right? You're sowing is the teaching, and reaping is the gathering, right? So I'm going to read this one more time in 38. I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor, and other men labored, and ye are entered into their labors, right? Because reincarnation, all right, and also passing the torch, right? With the teachers, the prophets. There are prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai who had passed this knowledge on to, the elders, our elders, and now they passed it to us, and we've entered into their labors. And that means the work's not done. If you've entered into the labor, the work's not done. You still got to keep working. It's not finished, right? There's going to be men that they're not going to labor. They're not gonna do nothing about concerning gathering the elect, reaping the elect. But that's part of prophecy too. There's going to be those that gather. There's going to be those that don't do shit. So like you had to sneeze. So that's why we do what we do, man. We move through fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and we just trying to make our calling and elect sure. And I'm gonna stop at 38, but I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.